Dana Vraja Jayarandana Shondanandana Vraja Jayarandana Unnati Ravanachari Unnati Ravanachari Ayoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Yoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Vishana Bhama Virivara Hare Gopishana Bhalaba Virivara Hare Vishana Bhalaba Virivara Hare Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Unnati Ravanachari Amunati Ravanachari Yoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Ayoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Vishana Bhalava Virivara Gopishana Bhalava Virivara Vishana Bhalava Virivara Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Unnati Ravanachari Unnati Ravanachari Yoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Yoradanda Madhava Kusha Bihare Gopishana Bhalava Virivara Gopishana Bhalava Virivara Chandavara Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Jayarandana Natira Bhagashari Natira Bhagashari Ayorana Samadama Hari Ayoradam Tamadava Sabihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gora Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Sila Prabhupada Prabhupada Sila Prabhupada Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shigonita ki, Krishna Balaram Giraj Maharaj ki, Shraddha Govinda Madhava ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Tu peux me trouver un ou pas des chambriques? Allez. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we continue our reading of text 5, chapter 4, the appearance of Sri Narada from the first canto. Drishtva, by seeing, Anuyantam, following, Rishim, the sage, Atmajam, his son, Api, in spite of, Anagnam, not naked, Devya, beautiful damsels, Riya, out of shyness, Paridaduhu, covered the body, Na, not, Sutasya, of the sun, Chitram, astonishing, Tadvilaya, by seeing that, Pichati, asking, Munaho, unto the Muni Vyasadev. Shagaduhu replied, Tava, your, Asti, there are, Stripum, male and female. Bhida, differences, Na, not, Tu, but, Shutasya, of the sons, Vivikta, purified, Drishtahe, of one who looks. Dristvanu yantam rishim matmajam api anagnam devyo riya paridadurna sutasya chitram taviksha paichati muno jagadustavasti stripum bidananu sutasya vivakta drishtahem. Drishtavanu yantam srishim atmajam api anagnam devyorya priya dadurna tsutasya chitram tadviksha pichati muno jagadus tavasti stripum bidanatu sutasya vivikta drishtahem. Drishtavanu yantam rishim atmajam api anagnam devoriya paidadurna sutasya chitram taviksha prichati muno jagadus tavasti stripum bidanatu sutasya vivikta drishte. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Asya Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. So that's Sonaka Rishi who is speaking. Le verset, c'est le 5. Verset 5, text 5, chapter 4, canto 1st. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. While Sri Vyasadeva was following his son, beautiful young damsels who were bathing naked and covered their body with cloth, although Sri Vyasadeva himself was not naked. But they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young ladies replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them, made no distinction between male and female. But the sage made such distinction. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita 5.18, it is said that a learned sage looked equally on a learned and gentle brahmana, a chandala or dog-eater, a dog or a cow, due to his spiritual vision. Srila Shukadeva Goswami attained that stage, but he did not see a male or female. He saw all living entities in different dresses. The ladies who were bathing could understand the mind of a man simply by studying his demeanor, just as by looking at a child one can understand how innocent he is. Shukadeva Goswami was a young boy, 16 years old, and therefore all the parts of his body were developed. He was naked also, and so were the ladies. But before Shukadeva Goswami was transcendental to sex relation, he appeared very innocent. The ladies, by their special qualification, could sense this at once, and therefore they were not very concerned about him. But when his father passed, the lady quickly dressed. The ladies were exactly like children or grandchildren. Yet they reacted to the presence of Vyasadeva according to the social custom, because Srila Vyasadeva played the part of a householder. A householder has to distinguish between a male and female, otherwise he cannot be a householder. One should therefore attempt to know the distinction between body and soul without any attachment for male and female. Ah, c'est long, c'est pas fini là. Non, le verset. As long as such distinction is there, one should not try to become a sannyasi like Shukadeva Goswami. At least theoretically, one must be convinced that a living entity is neither male nor female. The outward dress is made of matter by material nature to attract the opposite sex, and thus keep one entangled in material existence. A liberated soul is above this perverted distinction. It does not distinguish between one living being and another. For him, they are all one and the same spirit. The perfection of this spiritual vision is the liberated stage, and Srila Shukadeva Goswami attains that stage. Srila Vyasadeva was also in the transcendental stage, but because he was in the householder's life, he did not pretend to be a liberated soul as a matter of custom. Amaganatiminandasya gananjala shalaikalai shachuru minitam yena tasmai shigurave namaha. Shri Chaitanya mano bhishtam shtapitam yena bhutale vayarupa kadam madhyam darati swapadantikam. He Krishna karena sindhu dina bandhu jagatpate gopesha gopika kanta radha kanta namastute. Tapta kanchana gorange radhe vrindavaneshwari vishabhanu sute devi paramami haripriye. Vanchakarpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu yavachapatitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here Shukadev Goswami is explaining the origin of Srimad Bhagavatam, who is Vyasadeva himself. And he speaks about the origin of Vyasadeva and Shukadev Goswami. Oh, he took birth in Vyasadev's wife, stayed there for 16 years. So he had some mystic power to do that. Because he didn't want to be influenced by Maya. Imagine the argument. He didn't want to be influenced by Maya, by going outside. So he was absorbed in the meditation of the Brahmajyoti. So he can stay a long time for that, with supernatural powers and meditating on the on the effulgence of the Brahmajyoti, the non-differentiated atmosphere that pervades the world of the spiritual world. So his mind changed when he heard the Srila Vyasadeva speaking of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Srila Vyasadeva promised him that he will not be, if he will take birth, he will not be attacked by Maya. Then on this condition, Shukadev Goswami accepted to take birth. And when he took birth, he went away in the Himalayan forests, because that was the system for sannyas. When you leave the society of the humans, the custom, the Vedic tradition, everything, the sun, the property, you go in the Himalayas and you just practice your spiritual life almost alone, with little company except some sadhus, and you are lost for the social, for the ordinary society. You go, you don't come back. No ticket return. One way. Bas, finish. So Shukadev Goswami, he went away, and when his father called him, "Hey son, come back. Where are you going?" Just it is said that just the echo, we say, echo, the echo of his voice reverberating on the trees come back to him. It means the son didn't care. He just ran away. So the Vyasadeva ran after him. And that's when this event took place. Ladies in India, they got, maybe not now because so many people, but at the time ladies were accustomed to take baths naked. There was a special spot for them so that no male will go and bother them. So Shukadev Goswami went past them, and they could see it was to his way of seeing things and his demeanor. They could understand he was not in this world. So they kept naked. They continued their bathing without any caring. But when Vyasadeva arrived, he was playing the role of a householder, although he is Vishnu Tattva. He is an avatar incarnation of Sri Krishna, meant for compiling and writing the scriptures. He is above consideration of male, female, and like that. But he plays the role of being an ordinary householder with a wife, with children, and like that. So his way of being is like a conditioned soul. Thank you. And the ladies, they could see that he was playing this role. Then they dressed up. They could not stand in the river. They dressed up, they hide themselves. And here it's explained because Shukadev Goswami was liberated. So the term liberated is not so easy to explain because Srila Prabhupada explained that his devotees were liberated. But if you analyze scrutinizingly, a lot of so-called liberated devotees were replunged in the Maya's net again. But nevertheless, they are considered liberated, or we should better speak of on the way of liberation, and it's just a question of time that they will be liberated. So some gap of the timing going on is there for the devotee to really reach liberation. And afterward, liberation is not what really a devotee wants. A devotee is not supposed to have some interest for himself. And looking for liberation, according to the Goswami, contains a little of material desires in the sense that you want to do something for your own benefit. Whilst the topmost devotees, especially in Vrindavan, the way they think is just to do something for the pleasure of Krishna. They are not interested for their own advancement or liberation or whatever. When you hear Kunti saying, "Give me some problem so that I can remember you," of course, we should not so much follow the example of exalted Kunti, Queen Kunti, but it gives you an hint about the mentality of the super highly advanced devotees. So, so we have a lot of devotees who took sannyas in the past and were not able to keep their vows because renouncement were not so easily burnt up. Even Prabhupada burnt a lot of their karma, but still some remnants was there. Haripashad explained that karma is like a hunter with his arrows. So the hunter have three kinds of arrows. The arrows in the carquois, in the back container. The arrows is manufacturing or fighting, and the arrows that are already thrown. So you would say that the arrows that are in the container on the back are all the past activities, good and bad, that will be flourishing after some time. So when you take initiation, these arrows are taken away by the spiritual master. Now, the arrows that you are manufacturing or filing or to make it really sharp, these are the karmic activities that you are accomplishing or that you are accomplished in this lifetime. So if you will follow the rule and the regulation, this arrow will be thrown away. But what to do with the arrow which is flying on the sky, that will meet its target? This is the activities that came to crystallize in the formation of body, and also to some extent the subtle body, the mind. So this arrow is already, you are living in the body. If you were completely devoid of karma, you wouldn't exist in this material world. the flying arrow will not exist. It means your body will not exist. You will not be part of this world. But still you are here. So it means to some little degree, some remnants of karmic reaction is still going on because you are still living in a body. So the Rupa Goswami explains that when you practice devotional service, you diminish the speed of this arrow in the sense that the activities pertaining to the body and the karmic reaction that you should get along this body are also diminished. But nevertheless, we see that some devotees, they get sick, they get diseased, they get old, of course, and sometimes they get some mental problems or physical problems due to these remnants. So we should not think that we are free to do whatever we want and it's already in the pocket. It doesn't work this way. Of course, if Krishna wants, he can take away this flying arrow or this body and promote you to the spiritual world. But these are special Kripa Siddhi, very special soul who should not think that we are part of them. We should pray to have this boon one day, but for the moment we are just a piece of dust in the universe. We try to reach Krishna like a dwarf trying to grasp the moon. It is desperate as a situation, and we should feel like that, yeah, desperate. That's how you can attract the mercy of Krishna when you chant sincerely. You chant with a state of mind that you are nothing in this world. You are abandoned. You cry for the ultimate shelter. And that attracts the mercy of Krishna. So this is a whole understanding of the real situation that we are nothing. This realization doesn't come like that, like Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnuna. More humble than a piece of grass, more tolerant than a tree, and ready to offer to everyone respect and not expect nothing in return. So this state of mind is super elevated, and we can recite it hundreds and thousands times, but that's the mercy of Krishna that will make the heart modeled in such a way. You need time, service, and cultivate. See, practice detachment, patience, to be patient. All these things are necessary to be endowed with this kind of vision where you are completely aloof. Like here we have Shukadev Goswami, Vyasadeva, not even caring for his father, completely in another planet. Practically, he should not be in this world. Because these beings are normally not in this world, or if they stay in this world, it's not for a long time. Should take advantage of association with such persons. Very early attain. So this situation was replayed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he would explain to his disciple that only to intimate associate that were Ramananda Roy, who is, by the way, an incarnation of both Lalita and Arjuna, and Swarup Damodar Maharaj, who is Vishaka, I think, intimate gopi, anyway. where these two persons were aloof of sex attraction, even to the point of Ramananda Roy. He would say, quote this example. He would take care of the dasi, who were young girls dancing for Jagannath in the temple. So he would pamper them, maquillage, bathing them, very intimate with their body, and still he was not agitated because he was aloof. He was not considering the body. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would preach and say, there's only these two persons. Nobody should think that they are aloof and thinking they are above this attraction of male and female. This attraction is actually the electricity that makes the running of the electric motor going on perpetually. That's the fueling that makes everything rotates, and everything duplicating, reproducing again and again and again. That's why the whole universe is rotating, because of sex desire. So this impression is very, very strong. So Rupa Goswami Das, in his Upadeshamrita, he gives a lot of indication how to try at least to subdue this tendency, and eventually to be aloof to a certain extent, to 90%, let's say. 10% not possible, unless one very exalted soul. Ordinary people, if they follow the control of there is three control. He explains there is control of the tongue, control of the mind, and control of the body. The speech, the mind, and the body. So the tongue has two functions, vibrating and tasting. This organ is very prominent in his faculty of doing things implicating karmic reaction or liberating. The tongue is supreme because it has two functions, tasting and vibrating sounds. So Vacho Vegan, Manasa, Krodha Vegan. Donc, first, Vacho Vegan. So he speaks about how controlling the tongue, what we speak, is very important. So in a nutshell, he says we should speak the truth. We should speak it in a palatable way. We should speak it with the aim of not disturbing the mind of others. And fourth one is what? These are the main things. You see that even the first Vacho Vegan, it's not so easy to do because we have some tendency. And also, and to think what you will do, what you will speak a few times before speaking it, thinking what your aim is. After you have Manasa Vegan, so Manasa Vegan, it's in between the Krodha and the tongue. So Manasa Vegan start with, like Krishna says, Arjuna have an argument with Krishna. Oh, you want me to practice this yoga? It's impossible. Controlling the mind is more difficult than controlling the wind. Krishna says, yeah, it is not so easy to control the mind. But with practice and cultivating detachment, you can make it. So we should understand that big underneath that there is a question of time. You have to be patient. It takes time. It's not an easy thing. It's a long run time. It may take not a few lifetime even. And detachment means you have to sharpen your intelligence, because Krishna says superior to the mind is intelligence. The mind is superior to the senses, but the senses are inferior to the sense object. So the mind can also be inferior to the sense object. It should not be, but sometimes it is. But intelligence is above everything. And above everything, of course, is Atma, the soul. Because the soul is very close to the super soul. So the practice of knowledge is not exactly bhakti, but it is congenial to bhakti. Bhakti is another ingredient. It has nothing to do actually with knowledge, unless it is knowledge of the hidden, like the text of the Goswamis of Vrindavan. This kind of knowledge is not exactly in the category of knowledge in the Vedic literature. But let's put it this way, that when you cultivate the Vedic knowledge, you build such an intelligence that will make you understand this is inferior guna, this is medium class or passionate guna, this is goodness, and what is pure goodness, transcendental. So knowledge will give you this weapon, and that will be able to tame the elephant of the mind. The mind is very brazen, obstinate, very strong, like an elephant, and very jumping, chanchala, like a monkey, from branch to branch. And also is I need my books. My memory is flinching away. These are the four qualities of the mind, and they are not good qualities, but they can be good qualities if you make it to you are successful in taming the elephant of the mind. So after you have Krodha Vegam, Krodha Vegam is controlling the surge of the anger. So the analysis is that the anger comes from frustration. And generally, we have some expectations that are not fulfilled, and we become frustrated, and from frustration becomes anger. And Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita, afterwards, the result of being angered is that you lose the intelligence, memory is lost, and you fall down again in the whirlpool of the three gunas and the material world. So anger can, especially when we, through the words, then with the body, can destroy, like an elephant in the garden, very quickly what you have planted and organized with so much time and attention and like that. You know. So Krodha is a very fierce enemy of the devotee, because it can destroy a lot of progress that have been accumulated in the course of time, especially offenses to the advanced devotee, mostly spiritual master. I was reading that at the end of Kali Yuga, the son will insult his father, and the disciple will insult his guru. Oh, strong. It means Krodha, no, in Brahma Vaivata Purana, I think, if not mistaken, where Nanda Maharaj asked some question to Krishna, and he asked, what will be the Kali Yuga like? So Krishna explained a lot of things that already we know, but he had some details, like these details that lady will be arrogant. He says also that the man will be the size of a sun. Humanity will be reduced to the time of the size of a sun. Trees will be reduced to the size of vegetables. See this? Very small. So this is Kali Yuga. And people will be ugly, ladies will be ugly, everybody ugly, not only the body, but the mind. It's terrific to see. So, Krodha Vega, yes. This is how to, the pulsion of the anger that comes from frustration, because we have, in your mind, you have cultivated some expectation and that are not fulfilled. The solution is not to have those expectation. You have to become mature in your spiritual life. Like when you are a young boy, someone gives, father gives ice cream to some children and not to his son, let's say. He forgets or whatever. So the son is like that. He didn't give me an ice cream like others. What's going on? He becomes angered. He's frustrated because he expects and it doesn't happen. Or you don't expect, if something bad happens also. Same case. But when you are 25, 30, you have eaten kilograms of ice cream in your lifetime. If the same thing happen, would you feel frustrated if someone doesn't give you ice cream? No, you don't care. It doesn't affect you so much. But when you were 10 years old, yes, it affected you a lot. You were angry. So with time and maturation, you see that what you were expecting when you were young, it have no value because you became mature in your spiritual life. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he was a few years old. He got very quick acceleration like a rocket. In a few years, he got the darshan of Narada Muni, then Vishnu himself. And he wanted a big kingdom, bigger than his father, Manu. But when he saw Vishnu, he realized, oh, what I wanted was broken glass. I found a diamond and I was lurking, aspiring to broken glass. What a fool I was. As a result, he got some kingdom of 36,000 years because of this desire. Even he had the darshan of Lord Vishnu. He had to stay in the material world for 36,000 years to go there. So, when we approach Krishna, we should take care of what kind of desire we have. And after some time in spiritual life, we see the desire I had 10 years ago or 5 years ago, like that. But we should see also that the special subtle desire we have now after 10 years you will see them ridiculous. So that's why spiritual life takes time, and some realization will come, but not cheap, and have to be patient. Then we come up with control of the tongue, but for the food. So Rupa Goswami explained that the tongue, because it is so special, we cannot say that we have control all of the other sense, including the sex, if we have not controlled the tongue in our habits of eating. So in a nutshell, the control of the jiva vegan, the impulsion of the tongue, are controlled by taking prasada in a good way, because you can be also voracious like a wolf. You can be also running after sweets or after this kind of prasad or this kind of devotee, because I know he does good prasad or good plate. This kind of attitude is not jiva vegan. It is jiva vegan. It is uncontrol of the tongue. So also it is said you should fill up half of the stomach, 1/4 with liquid, 1/4 with air. Like in a washing machine, if you want your laundry to be clean and to your clothes to be well washed, you don't fill up to the brim the washing machine. You keep some room for the water and for the air also. You don't press to the stomach, same. Don't press. Sometimes you can press because there is festival or like that, but it is exception. It is allowed from time to time in a special festival or like that. So sex life, that's where we are speaking here, is very strongly also to be controlled. All these controls, they seem to be so much bothersome, but they are actually like barrier in the border of the road, and after the road you have some cliff. It looks like restraining your so-called freedom. But it is freedom in the long run time, because you will be able not to go in the cliff and to survive all the obstacles. So it looks to be an obstruction to your freedom, just do it. That's the fashion nowadays. Don't care, do it. No, you have to be concerned after the reactions. You have to see long run term, not only in this lifetime, but afterward. What will be the result of what we do? We break the barriers. Barriers are here, especially due for sex life. The barriers are more strong to keep the cohesion, the society fit. So in the Dharma Shastra, you have different kind of brahmacharya. Of course, the marriage is practically a compulsory for everyone, because 99% of the people are not able to be brahmachari sannyasi in the whole of their lifetime. So the majority of the people, and the devotees as well, will go through the Grihastha ashram. And they will have to respect some rules that are defined by the spiritual master, but sometimes also they fail. They don't follow scrutinizingly and scrupulously the rules given by the spiritual master. Then the Dharma Shastra says there is 4 kinds of brahmacharya. The black brahmacharya is you marry a spouse and you just keep with her. Sex, no sex, when, what, not when. It is a kind of brahmacharya. In the mode of ignorance, it is a black brahmacharya. Then those who are a little more restrained, they keep one wife and they don't do sex in special days, festival, Janmastami, Kadashi, and other days like that. But they have some freedom to do outside. Those who are in the mode of goodness, this is the white brahmacharya. So the white brahmacharya, you approach your wife once in a month only. And the Vimala Brahmacharya, that's what generally the spiritual master asks from the devotee, is you approach your wife once in a month, but to get some children from it. So you have different like that, from the Dharma Shastra, you have different level of Brahmacharya. And we see also that some disciples were not that much as advanced as to respect the Vimala Brahmacharya, strict for getting some progeny. So in the special case, but that maybe not be so special, maybe a lot of Grihastha are not able to respect their Vimala vow, then the spiritual master will give the instruction, at least keep with your wife. Even in exception, Srila Prabhupada said to one disciple, yes, you can remarry. But it's not a rule, it's an exceptional exception. The rule, principle of this different kind of brahmacharya is, when you are grihastha, is to keep your griha intact. Don't demolish it. Because grihastha ashram is like being in a fortress and the wife is the commander of the fortress. She defends the ashram. So the most important in the grihastha ashram is of course following rules and regulation, trying to follow what the guru says, but you have many cases where you will not maybe able to do that in the whole of your life. Then at least don't smash your ashram. Keep your ashram together. It means keep your spouse. Keeping grihastha ashram means keeping one spouse and keeping it under the same roof. If the wife is living outside in another roof and you are living in another roof, this is not grihastha ashram. It is an ashrami. It is outside of the tenets of an ashram dharma. Then if you by causality, if you don't manage to keep your ashram or your fortress all together, then you fall in a category of not being defendant. You run a risk. So that's why we should keep our wife as a commander of the fort and all things together for the benefit of the society, the children, and your own benefit for your protection, because you are in a fortress. So that's how we can, like that, little by little, control the upasta vegan, the impulsion from the sex organ, which are very strong. Yeah, there's a lot to speak, but maybe we can stop here, because Srila Prabhupada was stating also an important point. Srila Vyasadeva was also in the transcendent age, because he was in householder life, but he did not pretend to be a liberated soul as a matter of custom. And this has been the case of some a member, and so every spiritualist, there's the same history, that Kutinati, they pretend to be at a certain level, but internally they are not. As a result, they make a show battle of the spiritual life, and they trick the other, but they trick themselves also, but they don't trick Krishna. You cannot trick Krishna. And generally also, you can trick others for some times, and you can trick all people, but you cannot trick forever. At some point, if you don't change, Krishna leaves a little time and knowledge for you to understand you are not in a stable position. After some time, Krishna show to everybody here, see, he's not at the point. It's a show. We have seen that in our movement, but we see that in other movement also, in the Christian, in the Buddhist. It's there everywhere. We take spiritual life as a show, a little cheap, just external, but internally it doesn't follow. Gopi Parandan, who translated the Bhagavatamrita and some other nice books also, he says a very precious instruction. He says that real bhajan of Krishna's name starts when you act accordingly to your heart. It means your activities reflect what's in your heart. When there is a disruption of that, you are not truthful with yourself and with Krishna, and then the seed of kutinati falls, pretending to be what we are not, is spreading little by little like that. So real bhajan means you have to be truthful with yourself and with Krishna, and then that's real purity, and you can accomplish. If you are pure enough, you can, according to this verse of the first verse of Upadeshamrita, who was spoken from Rupa Goswami to Jiva Goswami, not a cheap level, you can see. It's the basis, but it's quite an elevated standard. You can see that kutinati or pretending is not so nice. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote this Manashiksha, where he explained the different trips in which a devotee can fall. Where you have this tendency to pretend and you are not here, and you accomplish some nindana, some offenses to the holy name, and offense to the devotees, and offense to the prasad. There's a lot of offenses everywhere on the holy name, the holy dham, offenses when you worship Krishna in the seva of the deities worship. You have many aparadas also for the prasadam. You have to follow some rules. A lot of rules. It seems not so easy to practice devotional service, but these rules, they make sense after some time. At first, even the regulative principle seems a lot for the newcomer. But after you become accustomed with that, you see there is other obstacle, unspoken obstacle. If you read this book from this Sanas, what was his name? In England, he disappeared, very young. He was preaching in Russia. He gave a course on Bhagavad Gita, nice course. I don't remember his name. Anyway, unspoken obstacle in spiritual life, they become more subtle. They are here. So read this book, Manashiksha, from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to see the trick that the dacoits will be on the way to Lord Krishna. But if you keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, in spite of the obstacle, a little by little Krishna will reveal you, this is not so good, you should correct this. By the medium of the scripture, the spiritual master of the devotee, who are like mirror for our defect. They know how to point out our defect. That's why after some time the association of the devotee is compulsory, practically speaking. There may be some comment or question about this verse. I will read it again. Trishtavanu yantam drishim atmajam apiyad nagnam devoriya paridatur nasutasya chitam daviksha prichati munau jagadus tavasti stripum bidadatu sutasya vivikta drishtehe. While Shri Vyasadeva was following his son, beautiful young damsels who were bathing naked, covered their body with clothes. Although Sri Vyasadeva himself was not naked, but they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young lady replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them, made no distinction between male and female. But the sage Vyasadeva made such distinction. Vyasadeva made distinction while Shukadev didn't. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna. Hare Om.